years now and a political consultant for 30 years. I spent my young productive years in the Senate in 1987 to 1989 and in the House of Representatives from 1992 to 1999. I am appearing before you today to honor that institutional tradition. How do I use social media channels? I use it as a platform for commentaries, advocacies, and as alternative classroom to discuss hot-button issues, explaining and making sense of issues to the public. I am not a blogger or a vlogger. I have a personal meta page. I do not have a social media company. I have not been involved with any narco and pogo groups. I am not pro-China. I am pro-Philippines. Having said that, allow me to state for the record that despite not being in a public office, I too am fair game. I have been bashed, bullied, accused of so many things, but when it comes to factual matters, malicious attacks, I choose my legal rights. One, against a lawyer who claimed that I was part of the Marcos Jr. campaign in 2022, and because of my survey results, I got a penthouse in BGC and drives around in a Range Rover. Both were lies. The case is pending. Then a private group in Meta chose to put out in public a photo of so-called DDS Coral with me on the center with a pig snout. Mind you, there were more than 12 persons there, some of whom I do not personally know. I am not DDS, nor am I part of the so-called DDS Coral. When they chose to bring it out of a private group and shared it publicly, it was done maliciously. So again, I filed a case. There was a time also in 2022 when the survey results of my company were maliciously altered. I called the media organization and a person in another political camp, requesting them to correct the matter or else I will avail of my legal rights. Both corrected, the latter even made a public apology. Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, the Constitution begins on page 1 with 3 words, "We the people." And Article 3, Section 4, refers to the Bill of Rights, specifically freedom of speech, freedom of expression, or of the press, and freedom of assembly are the bedrocks of democracy. But in politics, as you very well know, truth have various shades. For so long as there is no malice, we should err on the side of freedoms than contain them. Your Honors, contrarian views are protected by such rights. Prior restraint is anathema to democracy. My thoughts in this hearing, number one, please be fair. And I say that because are you inviting critics, bloggers, creators, joiners, collectors, spectators, inactives? Because the 3-second rule really controls social media. These are the different classifications when you refer to social media. If Congress wants to deal with false narratives, all sides must be present. Number 2, be careful of reported social media strategists who offer politicians, candidates, a plan on increasing followers. Your Honors, Mr. Chairman, followers are not voters. And the staggering costs are so scandalous and borders on being scams. You are being scammed if you follow the dictate of the more followers, the better for campaign. There were reports too where some influencers became guns for hire during campaigns. Number 3, Congress, and I am being, a lot of people are asking me not to say this, but I am sticking my head out here. Congress should ban the use of troll armies. Troll farms represent a significant challenge in the digital age, blending cyber warfare with psychological manipulation. Addressing them requires technological innovation, regulatory frameworks, and public awareness to safeguard democratic discourse. I am happy to note that these committees started with the pioneering work of Dr. Jonathan Ong and Dr. Jason Cabañez, entitled Architects of Network Disinformation. Number 4, near January 20, 2025, the inaugural of the US President, Meta ended fact-checking and replaced it with community notes, which X was an early adopter of. This is an evolving matter that we need to consistently be aware of, as well as AI and deepfakes. Congress should study what has been done in various countries that have implemented measures to ban or regulate the use of troll farms and coordinated inauthentic behavior, especially during campaigns and elections. I am referring to some 11 countries here for you to consider. As far as EU is concerned, they came up with the Digital Services Act and the Code of Practice on Disinformation. The US has Honest Ads Act. Germany has the Network Enforcement Act. France bans false information spread close to elections and mandates ad transparency. Brazil has fake news law that criminalizes the creating of fake accounts to spread election falsehoods. Taiwan recently criminalized foreign interference, including disinformation campaigns, with a fact-checking initiative to counteract troll army activity. Canada has Elections Modernization Act that prohibits foreign interference and mandates ad transparency. Australia has Electoral Integrity Bill criminalizing foreign interference and requires ad disclosure. The UK has an online safety law that holds platforms accountable for harmful content, including election disinformation. South Korea criminalizes spreading false information during campaigns. And Singapore, which was mentioned a while ago, allows government correction and removal of falsehoods. The 3-second rule is the controlling law in social media. And because of that, legislation has to be circumscribed and made quickly, so that for the 2025 elections, we remove the disinformation effect of the troll farms. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and your honors.
Mr. Chair, just a clarification if...
Yes, go ahead, Congressman Art Barbers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to address this clarification to Ms. Malu Tikia. Malu, para lang sa kaalaman ng marami, ang objective o layunin kasi nitong committee hearing na ito ay magpasa ng mga batas, no? Gaya ng nabanggit mo sa ibang bansa na kung saan ay merong mga batas, no, to protect, no, yung the people from online scams and others, no, and other illegal activities that is being done in the cyberspace. Dito sa atin sa ngayon, Malu, no, marami kasing mga vloggers, habang tayo'y naghihiring ngayon, ang komentaryo ay sinasabi nila na we do not respect that committee hearing kasi yung hearing na yan suppression ng aming freedom of speech or freedom of expression. Hindi kami naniniwala na ang layunin niyan ay para gumawa ng batas. Since you are here, I'd like to get a categorical opinion from you na ikaw ba ay naniniwala na tama lang na tayo gumawa ng batas para magkaroon ng disiplina, magkaroon ng regulatory framework ang ating bansa sa paggamit ng social media?
Sir, to directly respond to Congressman Barbers, yes.
Okay.
For the simple reason that the decency of the space has been crossed so much. So yes.
There are statements that are being issued that are slanderous or libelous, correct? And you agree with me, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so marami kasing ganyan eh. Maaring hindi nila aaminin o hindi sila informed, no, kung ano na yung kanilang limitasyon sa paggamit ng social media. Kasi yun na nga ang sinabi ko kanina, no, when you open your social media account, sometimes makikita mo may nagmumura. Di ba? May nagmumura. May name calling. They resort to name calling. They call politicians, they call people by other names. Na insulto nga minsan di ba? Meron naman dyan na nananawagan ng kaguluhan sa bansa. And these are the things that we want to check. Yan po, kaya yung mga nanonood doon ng mga vloggers na walang ginawa, kundi magmura, they've crossed the line of decency doon papunta sa criminal act of being libelous or slanderous. So, yun ang gusto nating linawin. And I'm glad that Professor Maluti-Kia is here to agree with this committee's objective in coming up with this legislation, remedial laws or legislation that can be used by the country, and of course, people will benefit. Tama?
Sir, ako lang, kasi ang legislators, you live in a glass house. So part and parcel of your public life are attacks being made.
And that's normal.
That's normal. But there is also such a thing as contrarian view. Kasi kung papatulan yung opinion yun eh. Ngayon, kung factual, kaya
I'm only referring to fake news peddling.
Yeah.
Yung opinion, they can share, they can express their opinion 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year. And no one will stop them from doing that. That's their right.
Yes.
And we know that and we respect that right.
Thank you for that.
Pero kapag you've crossed the line, created a story, created a news that is fake, and you peddled it, diba? Teka muna, may pananagutan tayo sa batas. And you know that, diba?
Yes, sir.
So, that's very clear. We will not debate and argue about opinions.
Yes.
Because your opinion is I respect, and my opinion you should also respect.
Yes.
Diba? Ganun din po, this goes the same to all social media actors or bloggers, so to speak, no? Kasi, syempre, kayo nandyan sa industry yan, you control the narrative eh. Kasi kayo nandyan dyan, trabaho nyo siguro yan. Perhaps you even make money out of that, no? Especially to those who actually can monetize, no? Yung kanilang, ano ba, namo-monetize?
Yes, sir. That's why I said I am not a blogger or a vlogger, because I do not earn from it. My meta page is my personal page. And to a certain degree, you really have to be responsible for what you say or what you do. Yun lang, sir, siguro sa legislation, really you have to look for a definition on fake news. What is fake news is really something that has to be defined.
I absolutely agree with you. And that is why we're consulting and getting opinions from the experts, no? Yung ating members of the academe, like you're a practitioner, and the government agencies, para makagawa po tayo ng batas. Yun lamang po ang ating layunin. So yung mga nagtatago sa likod ng usapin na ito ay curtailment ng freedom of expression o freedom of speech, sila po yung talagang namamayagpag sa pagkalat ng fake news dito sa ating bansa.
Mr. Chairman, the fact that I agreed to appear and honor your invitation, and I was given the chance to say what I want to say, I don't think that is curtailment of my right to express.
And you're a perfect example and manifestation that indeed there was no curtailment of freedom of expression and speech in this committee hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat, Malu. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.